You know that instance where you start breathing so fast, like your heart is beating. Hi. Welcome to another episode with me today on our mental health series. And today we're talking about 5 organs that have been affected with mental stress. One of the organs that gets affected first from mental health stress is the brain. Yes, the brain. It is the one that has the control center of everything that happens to you. And one thing you would want to watch out for whenever your brain is affected by stress is you tend to start forgetting things easily. You tend to find it difficult to sleep, and then you tend to just feel like your brain is numb, like clouded, like you can't think right. And so this would tell you that your brain is under a kind of stress, because your brain is undergoing some kind of pressure that makes it to release a stress hormone known as cortisol. And when this cortisol is produced in excess, it affects the hippocampus of your brain. When this particular area is affected in the brain, it tends to affect you physically, and that's when you now find out you're forgetting things easily. You find it difficult to focus, you find it difficult to concentrate, you just feel some kind of cloudiness in your head, and then you are tired. So this is to tell you that your brain is under a kind of stress and under pressure. And over time, this cortisol also affects the production, a hormone melatonin, which is an hormone that aids sleeping at night. So, and this cortisol over time reduces the production of this melatonin, and it also affects your sleeping pattern. And that's why at sometimes you find it because you don't know what is happening, you just can't sleep. Your brain must be under a kind of stress. Other organs that shows a sign that you are mentally stressed is your heart. Your heart, you know that instance where you start breathing so fast, like your heart is beating, every second, like you are scared of something. It's a sign that you are under a form of stress. And when your heart is under a kind of stress, your brain sends a signal, makes a production of a kind of hormone that is known as adrenaline, that is responsible to help you whenever you're in a dangerous situation. We call it a flight or fight hormones. It is that hormones that help activate your body to be ready whenever you find yourself in danger. And that's why you find out that sometimes you just find yourself have this kind of superpower whenever you are in a dangerous situation. It is this hormone that enables you. When this hormone is released during this period and you are not in a dangerous situation, it tends to affect your heart over time, because over time when this hormones is being released, your heart senses that, oh, you are in a dangerous situation, but you are not in a dangerous situation. What is happening is just maybe because you're stressed, maybe because you've not had enough time to rest, and your brain is signaling that it releases that hormone. And then you find out that you are in that situation where your heart starts palpitate every second. Whenever you start to notice that kind of symptoms in your body, you should know that you are not having enough rest, or you are under a kind of stress that you need to monitor properly. Another is your stomach. Yes, stress affects your stomach. Yes, stress that when this hormone called the cortisol is being released into the body, it tends to slow down digestion. And it's just so funny why it does that. It does that because your body feels like it's in a danger, and it feels like it's not time to eat. So your body is trying to regulate the production of your gastric juice, production of those enzymes that are responsible for digestion, and this tends to affect your digestion. It tends to give you some kind of conditions whereby at that point in time you get constipated. Yes, some people get constipation from stress. Constipated, some also have ulcer from stress. Yes, stress-induced ulcer. Body is under a kind of stress. Some hormones are being released in excess, and this is affecting metabolic process of your body, and is in turn affecting you physically. So you could also get stomach issues from stress. And another organ that is being affected is your immune system. Organs are responsible for your immunity, and that's why you tend to fall sick during those periods whenever you feel so stressed. Whenever you pass through a lot of stress, there are different kinds of stress: physical stress, financial stress, that all accumulate to become a kind of mental stress that affects your mental health. So it affects your immune system in the sense that it reduces the production of your white blood cells that are responsible to fight against any forms of infection, that are responsible to protect your immunity. And when the white blood cells are being reduced in number, your body is being exposed, vulnerable to infections, vulnerable to microorganisms that are harmful to the body. And at this point in time, you tend to fall sick, and that's why you find out that most people that are under some kind of stress, they tend to catch cold easily. They develop some kind of allergies all of a sudden, allergies that they never had when they were growing up, but all of a sudden when they start passing through some kind of stress, they develop some kind of allergies. They tend to go in and out of hospital every now and then. This is because their immune system has been compromised with a mental health stress. And the last organ we're talking about is your skin. Yes, stress also manifests in your skin. How does this happen? It happens in the sense that the release of this stress hormone, which is the cortisol, in this context, cortisol boosts oil production, and when it boosts oil production, when it is now produced in excess, that tends to clog the pores of the skin, and these tend to now become inflamed and now turn out to be acne. At times it could be acne for some people, at times it could be a breakout of their skin, for some it could be eczema, for some it could be hives and whatsoever it is, and in this way it affects the skin. And this is the more reason why you need to pay attention to these different organs of the body. Pay attention to the way your brain is being functioning, especially during the period whereby you're going through one stress or the other. Pay attention to your health, how it beats. Pay attention to your skin. Pay attention to your immune system. Pay attention to your stomach. All of this gives you a sign that your body is mentally stressed, and you need to take care of that. You need to have enough rest. You need to do the needful, visit the doctor, go for therapy and whatsoever it is, and then you will fine and back to normal. I hope you were able to get one or two from today's episode. Don't forget to like, share and make a comment. I'll be waiting to see your comments in the comment section. Thank you.